Hey people, I hope you're doing well. Marhaba. I'm Hannah. Thanks for being here and yeah, joining me. Just gonna sit here and share my experiences as somebody who's been terrorized. Hopefully, it will be enlightening for people, educational. I mean, help people to have some compassion for people who've been terrorized and been traumatized. If you are a terrorizer, maybe you might change your ways. Who knows? But I'm just going to share things about my life and how it's changed the way I interact with people since 2021. And just hopefully that it will find the people that it's meant to find. I'm going to have some water first. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I just felt really thirsty. Yes, so since 2021, I've had all my tech infiltrated. So there's these criminals who've got access to everything I do. Like on my social media, there's clones of everything. They've infiltrated my tech. To the point where they've made my tech. I know they've made my tech like devices that can explode, like what happened to in Lebanon with Hezbollah. Because I experienced very weird things happening with my tech, and then everything made sense when all the pager attacks happened in Lebanon. I've been alerting the government about this since it happened. Nothing. So it's obvious they're in on it. I've been terrorized at my house. So things like my car was vandalized in 2021 on my street. I just don't think any of my neighbours have done it. But it was someone that was really, really hateful towards me because they damaged like every single panel of my car, put dents in it, scratches in it. They really went for it. But my car's really old, like it's from 2009, and it was just a little thing that enabled me to go to the mountains and the beach mostly, and be able to get heavy things from the supermarket with like easier. So I just don't know why anybody would literally go so hard to vandalize my car like that. My mail's been stolen since 4 years. It's that weird things have been happening with my mail. All my emails and stuff, and even like my Amazon accounts, everything, it looks like it goes through a filter. Like my banking transactions, where they used to be instant, there's like a delay of a few hours. The locations on my phone are set to New York most of the time. It's New York most of the time. Sometimes it's been San Jose in America. Sometimes it's been Miami. And those people, quite often, they set the location to southern Libya, where the terrorists are. Since they murdered Gaddafi, they often set the location to the southern Libya, where the Zionist entity have wanted to transfer my people out of Gaza to there. So that's like also terrorism, like psychological terrorism. And they've infiltrated like everyday apps like Deliveroo doing that. So, and it's definitely UK tech people, because it's supposedly UK AI and UK tech that Deliveroo is a UK company, and they supposedly use UK businesses, tech AI integration, which are UK businesses, but they still do terrorism like that for Shitrail. So there's Unit 8200 people, which is the intelligence unit, military unit of Shitrail, in literally every single tech. So you can't escape it. Um, uh, um, I've obviously been blacklisted, so my internet doesn't look the same. The opportunities and things like everybody else has access to that I would have had access to normally as a British citizen, I don't have access to anymore. They're not visible to me. My credit's been damaged completely. So because basically there's been like financial terrorism in the background to like pull me out of opportunities. So there's people infiltrated like the British Business Bank. There's HSBC was infiltrated. I can't think of the other. There was things like where I'd only receive callbacks and interest from these private equity fraudsters that obviously have access to like the system, so they can see how much equity is in my house, what they can steal, do all the relevant paperwork in the background to steal what's mine, and not even like think about what is actually good for me and my business, or what I need to improve my home for what I need it for. It was always like, no, this is a financial investment that we can prey on this woman and she won't know anything, and we can just take everything she's ever built. So I don't trust the system at all. Everyone's corrupt. Even at the DWP, they've infiltrated the system somehow. So I don't receive any phone calls from their numbers. Like their numbers completely blocked. I've been blocked at the Financial Ombudsman because there's financial terrorists in the Financial Ombudsman Service that work for Shitrail, that block any sort of justice against all of this financial fraud that's been happening by these private equity fraudsters that deliberately push people into negative financial situations to make it look like we're incompetent and incapable, and that that it's legitimate for other people to have all of these fake powers of attorney, or call us out and say that defame us as if we've got mental health problems for actually expressing the crimes that have been done to us. What else? And there's people in there that deliberately put people into like Britney Spears situations. So instead of actually dealing with the crimes and getting us justice for the financial crimes that we've endured and been subjected to, they kind of like pile on more and more and more trauma to legitimize the narrative that we are incompetent and can't manage our money. I've been single for many years. I've managed all my finances. My parents taught me this from young. I've managed all of my own finances since I was able to get my first job, which was when I was 16. Even when I like was cohabiting with a partner, it wasn't like he managed all the finances and I didn't do anything. I was still responsible for everything that was mine. I still built my own wealth, and he was more like a child that I had to babysit throughout the whole time I was with him. He wasn't really any sort of provider or any sort of masculine containment that a woman needs to thrive and grow. He was more like a liability. Even, and especially at the very end, like he was a very much liability to try and get rid of him, and he caused a lot of damage, and the system allowed it because he's a dentist, so his profession gets him a lot of grace, and it's just it perpetuates the misogyny and the discrimination against people like me who are genuinely trying to escape abusers, and so people just need to actually stop and look about what I've actually done for myself, how I've managed my own life, how I've built myself up, and how I was already established, and that these demons have come into my life to take everything and destabilize everything about my life. and not actually see that I can prosper doing what I'm doing. And they want it to stay that way, so they look better. But when, like, people like me, we're not in competition with them. We're not doing anything about them. We just want to do what we are here to do. We don't want this infiltration. We don't want this terrorism. And basically the trauma comes when we can't live as us. We can't live authentically. We are put into a box that's dictated by these rogue narratives and engineered and designed rogue situations that's fraudulent, that we're expected to fall into line with the corruption and the fraud, instead of just living in our truth. And because for me, I can't align with corruption. It's made me physically ill. God convicts me. I'm not here for corruption. I'm anti-corruption. I've been advocating against this fraud and corruption since I found out about it. And the only reason why I've been treated worse is because the people who are supposedly in the jobs to actually help are involved in it. That they are part of it. They're all part of it. And so the trauma comes is when you can't actually trust the normal things that you're expected to trust. Like you can't go to your GP practice because all the IT is infiltrated. You don't get treated the same. You can't go to the DWP, like you don't get treated the same. You can't go to the financial ombudsman. You don't get treated the same. I can't set up a company with Companies House without being terrorized because of it. Like what is this? I can't go and get a loan from a business like every other person and just do my small business in peace, get the right help. Like the people who were there, they don't step forward. Like I was already established. Like why was I treated like I didn't have anything, I didn't know anything, and that I haven't already built up a life for myself? Like why was I treated like I was worthless, like I was nothing? They never brought anything to the table, and they were the people in the jobs that are supposed to be supportive and helping people through a process. This is all terrorism. This is all terrorism against women. This is all terrorism against women who have built a life for themselves. It's all jealousy, and it needs to actually stop. There needs to be more awareness about this, because it's not our fault that these men in these jobs, and also it's also women as well, that they're not independent, or that they're really codependent. They're addicts. They have drug problems. They're probably functional alcoholics and functional drug addicts in the job, and this is allowed. We can't tolerate that. This is not for us. This is not our burden. This is not our trauma. This is not our problems that we have to absorb as a result of this kind of perpetual crimes that's fueled. This is not normal. This is traumatic. And people like me, we don't bond from trauma. It actually causes sickness in our body. Like we can tell the difference. Even like all the trauma in Gaza that's been endured, the people in Gaza, we don't bond from trauma. We don't want to be seen as all the trauma that's done to us. All that has been done to Gaza, in Gaza, is not a reflection of what's in our hearts. It's a reflection of the hearts, or the lack of heart, of everybody else that wants to put that on us. That it's their disease, it's their sickness. We will never, I don't know how to say it, but it's like مش حاسين حالنا. I don't know how to. It's like we don't see ourselves in that way. We never will. It doesn't matter if you've made someone a quadruple amputee. They're never gonna, in just the spirit of us as a people, we are never gonna see us as our limits, because we know we are souls, and souls are limitless. And that's just us as ancient. We are ancient people, and ancient people see the world like that. The reason why I don't have friends here is because people don't see souls. If people saw souls, I would have people. People would see me. People have disappeared out of my life because we don't vibrate the same anymore. Even when my physical situation was better, people still hated me. So it's even worse now. Because there's no one around, because there's not even anyone. Like, they only want to be associated with people who look good, like, on the outside. But at the end of the day, if you're like me, we don't just look at what's going on the outside. We look at how people behave. We look at how they treat people. We look at the way that they connect, or they try to connect. We look at how people try to bind and attach, and most people don't do that. And the way that most people try to attach onto me is to make me seem, it's always them trying to project their trauma. And for me, that's completely turns me off. It gives me, like, makes my stomach turn, like, literally growl in pain, and gives me the worst cramps. And that's how God alerts me to the dangers. That's how God alerts me to the dangers. Even things like that people might not think is a big deal, but there's a lot of people who wear just like it, like in Palestine, you can tell, like, the Israeli settlers, they always wear the same kind of suit. Like, it's always dark navy blue. They have green ties. They always wear the same kind of clothes. And people who dress like that, for me, it initiates like a feeling of disgust in my body. And so I can't, things like that is a very, like, it arises like red flags for me. And most people don't really care about stuff like that, but I do, because it reminds me of the settlers in my country. Why would you want to dress like the settlers in my country? Like, why? Like, for me, no, it might not be a bothersome thing for other people, but for me, it's really like, it's really icky, really, really, really icky. And and people who do private equity fraud as if it's normal business, because that's basically what Shitrail has done, to steal everything about my people, about my country, to terrorize us, to steal our assets, to destroy our farms, our land, our homes. Like, even today, I've seen that they've introduced wild boar into land in the West Bank so they can destroy it. What's wild boar got to do with anything to do with my land and my people? Where is all these environmentalists that stand up before the world and talk about what good they're doing for indigenous people, but they support Shitrail. They support Shitrail. Look what Shitrail's doing. Shitrail doesn't belong in my land, with my people. It doesn't belong there. Like, it's disharmonious to the land. Everything about it. They plant foreign trees, foreign plants. They've destroyed the groundwater. They've destroyed the soil. There's radiation in the soil. Like, everything about them is disharmonious to the integrity of the land. Everything. They destroy the olive trees, which are ancient. Very, very, very evil and disrespectful. They don't want homeostasis. They don't want any kind of balance, because it means that they can't exist there, because they're not meant to exist there. It's not theirs. They don't belong there. There's all of these people that talk about all the work that they do conserving land, or in other places where they've removed invasive species because it's dangerous. Shitrail is an invasive species worldwide. Worldwide. They are traumatic, they're degenerate, they're poisonous, they're toxic beyond belief. Nothing about them belongs on this planet. It's not harmonious to the human species, the human condition, or anything else. Nothing else. What has wild boar got to do with my country and my people? This is terrorism. This is it's beyond. That's beyond genocide. Like it's way beyond. It destroys everything. Everything. And like here, the same thing. They've basically, for me personally, I've been they've obviously been flying all these drones and stuff. Like it's been drone central all day today. Um, every day, every night, hacking all my tech, stealing all my work, built these fake AI businesses, got these fake life insurance, got the fake trust on my house. They've got hitmen on me. It's obvious now because of the thing with that's come to, they took the bait about the Jeff Buckley post. So they it's obvious there's hitmen out on to kill me, to steal everything, because they've got all the paperwork done in the background. They've all this terrorism that they've done by getting all these people, because it's people that aren't from here. My location's always New York, so they're either people from New York that have moved here, or it's people from New York that have paid people to come and terrorize me in my community to do all of this bullshit around where I live to make my life untenable. But I create here. This is my creative space. This is my sanctuary for where I work. They're just delinquents that have been doing this for years, and they don't get bored. They get worse. Same. It's exactly the same as in Palestine. They don't. They get worse. Like it's like if you allow a species to just run roost, like in my garden is overgrown, and blackberry brambles have taken over because I've not got rid of them. You need to dig them out, and remove that. That's what you need to do with terrorists, like shit terrorists. And in my country, like here in the UK, they don't remove them. They protect them. They protect the terrorists like they're the endangered species, because they've got people to think about them in some really weird way. They don't have anything to preserve. Like they don't have ancient knowledge. They don't have anything about them that is endangered. Like they are the destroyers. They are the demonic destroyers. Everything about them is trauma, like literally trauma. They're rewriting all of history and all of science, technology, through things like ChatGPT. So they're going to erase, not just for us, not as Palestinians, they are erasing the truth about civilization generally to put themselves up on a pedestal of legitimacy that doesn't exist. But people, the only way people will know that it's fake will be through dark night of the soul, any sort of spiritual awakening where people will get to know themselves, and then they'll learn, oh yeah, it's all fake. Like, but that is only through God. So they're the anti-creation. They're trying to make it so there's no source for anything, and that so that their fascist regime, ethno supremacist Aryan races kind of like society, still has some kind of life left in it. People just need to get off technology. They need to stop. What's happened to me is it's made me go completely back to not having any, like, I was always ahead with technology. Like I invested in Apple, whereas from 2005, because I like to have like good tech, but it's all infiltrated with shitrail now. So if anyone knows of any tech that is not infiltrated by Unit 8200, so I can have privacy and everything back, I would appreciate that, because at the moment, and also donate please, like if you benefit from my poetry, if you benefit from my art, if you benefit from any of my videos, my finances are completely blocked because I'm on the UK sanctions list. I don't have access to business finance. They've destroyed all my credit. They've literally made it so I am incapacitated completely, and so I can't be in my normal natural state. So if you actually benefit from anything that I share on here, then contribute via the following options, because I can't even do basic things like run a online store, because you need to have income to run an online store. You need and I need to be able to, I need income for that. So just things like that most people are probably think is normal. I don't have any income. My income has been stopped for years, and obviously I can't access or any sort of income that I would have been able to through my family or anything like that, because the Shitrali occupation as blocks it. They're stealing my inheritance to kill my people and build Epstein hotels on my land. That's terrorism. That is terrorism, and it all needs to stop now. This is the end of the road of that bullshit. It's the end of the road. We are not attaching by trauma. We are not insecure. We are very capable. We know what we want. We know what we're here to do. Get out of our life. We don't want this bullshit in our life in any sort of manifestation. Anyone who approaches us in some delinquent manner and tries to put their trauma on us, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting to us. It's disgusting to us. I live here alone because most people don't actually want to accept that this sort of bullshit actually happens to people. And it really, really does. It really does. And even if they do accept it, it's like they feel the guilt and the shame, and they know they were part of it, but they don't want to admit, because they don't want to face the legal consequences. They don't want to go to prison for the crimes that they've done. And that's it. Like, you can't say, oh, I was just doing my job, which is to like, for example, the people who were paid to terrorize me from the DVLA and from the council, instead of just processing like the issues like they would normally, they actually terrorized me, and they got local police and stuff involved, saying, no, it's just corrupt police in the local area to kind of like protect them with all the terrorism that they were doing, put false convictions on me for fines that I'd already paid and already suffered terrorism, got terrorized into paying money, and they still did some fucked up shit through the courts to get me paying fines that I don't even owe, that I can't even stop, because the delinquents in the system won't stop taking this fraud. It's fraud. It's just terrorism upon terrorism upon terrorism upon terrorism upon terrorism. And it's like I was never involved in any of it. Like, was never there. Like, it's all imagined in their head. It's all crimes they've put on me that they've imagined in their head. And this is the story about Palestine. Most people have never been there. I've travelled to more than 30 countries in the world. A lot of Christian people there. Like, for example, in Southeast Asia, a lot of the churches, they're French, from French colonization or Russian colonization. There's a lot of the churches are Russian. They're looked after by Russia or by France. Like, there's not even the people who are Christians there. Like, they don't even look after their own churches. What kind of Christians is that? How are they gonna relate to Christians in the birthplace of Christianity? There's such a massive disconnect of what these people believe, what they think they believe in. How is that anything to do with anything that Jesus stood for? It's all fucked up shit. Jesus is unity consciousness. That's what, when people talk about Christ consciousness, when people talk about spiritual ascension, he was on a spiritual ascension path. He is an ascended master. He was risen up by many, many trials to elevate his soul along his time here. And he elevated in his time here. And the people persecuting him are still doing the same. They don't elevate. They are here doing the same shit every day as what happened then. They don't move on. They keep going around the same circles. Whereas people from Jesus's line, we elevate. We don't stay in those. It doesn't even matter if you make somebody, like I said, quadruple amputee in Gaza. Our souls are here to ascend. We know we are not our bodies. We know this is just a vessel. We don't care about all of these gender debates that everybody's too busy having, because we know our souls are genderless. We accept the bodies we are given by God because God knows everything and we know nothing. And we accept that the bodies that we're given is for a purpose. We don't have these bullshit debates about sexuality and gender. We don't have them. We, people might want to do that, but it's not the soul is the same. You might go through gender transition or whatever. For us, it's not important because the soul is genderless anyway. You've just gone through a trauma to change your body and want to live differently and want to be accepted for what you've decided in your mind. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. For us, it's not a debate. We are here as souls. Our purpose does not really matter. It doesn't matter if we're a woman. It doesn't matter if we're a man. It doesn't matter if we've done some surgery and changed. It doesn't matter. Like, to us, it doesn't matter. Like, we are not our trauma. We are not our gender. We're not anything to do with our identity in a lot of ways. But what is part of our soul is our roots. You can't argue with that. There's a purpose for where you're born. Your heritage is divine as well. That is your soul. That is your soul. That is a soul agreement. Everything else is not a soul agreement. But we are what we are born into. And that is a very spiritual truth. And everything that goes against that is terrorism. Terrorism. Trauma. Try to get in the way of that. Trauma. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Yeah. So like things like once you've been terrorized and traumatized repeatedly over and over and over and over and over again, because you keep attracting all of these shady people, you just get to the point where you just close the door. Like, the door is just closed to any people whatsoever. Especially in this day and age where fascism was on the rise. There's lots more unhealed people. There's lots more traumatized people who don't think they're traumatized. Very, very, very sick people. And if you're like me and you are a healer and you are like somebody who takes responsibility for their emotions, for their well-being, for their bodies, for their mind, you do attract a lot of sick people along the path. But nobody's paying me for my services. Nobody's like, you can't just come in traumatized expecting just come in. If you like, I am actually a Reiki practitioner, but I don't offer my services as a Reiki practitioner because I don't want to absorb. I already absorb all the sickness of society, already have to do cleansing and everything. There's like, I'm really sorry to say, but I don't want to be absorbing and having to cleanse and everything like that every day. No. I transmute energy through my art, through my poetry, through my music. And if people want to receive that, all of that will go to whoever it's meant to go to, and it will be received how it's meant to be received. But I deserve an income. Like, everybody needs an income. Everybody needs an income, like including me. Like it doesn't even, like, I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter how um how wealthy you are or anything. It's like it's a human need to want to work. Like for me anyway, as a soul here having a human experience, I don't get the people who don't want to work. So the fact that I've been put in a situation to make me like just not integrate not integrated in society where I can work how I want to work, reach my potential how I want to reach my potential, force me into a situation where it's not actually me. So I've got physical illness that I have to tend to every day, make sure that, I don't die of this situation with no real help, no real understanding, because the people who are there that in the services that are supposed to help are sick. They're sick. They're traumatized. They're sick. They don't care about healing. Even if they're a doctor, like I did my video the other day, unhealed sociopath. Not right. Not right. Complete not right. Motivations for the job, who the fuck knows? Nobody knows. Well, money. But to me, there's a lot easier ways to make money than working as. If you want money, I don't. Working in the NHS is not. There's easier ways to make money than being a doctor in the NHS, and so if you don't actually care about people's well-being, go and do something else. Go and be a terrorist banker in the city. That's what she would be most suited to. Yeah, go and do that. Yeah, but we can't, like, after trauma like this, we can't just accept anybody into our lives, because we've grown past that now, because it was the lack of boundaries and stuff that got us into this trouble, by trusting the wrong people, trusting the systems. The systems are infiltrated with all sorts of criminals. Like, how can I engage with the system until the criminals are weeded out? I can't. Like, there's just absolutely no way. The sickness in my body is overwhelming. There's too much weird shit that's happened because I do not align with the crime. Too much weird shit that is just completely not explainable. Just like the stuff where on the systems, like one time, I had a loan and I had a repayment on holiday in COVID, and the bank that it was with refused to reinstate the payments, so they didn't want me to start paying it again. They marked my account as me being mentally unfit, sold the loan off to somebody else, and I was like, what the actual fuck? Then when I was like to them, what the fuck are you doing? They ruined my credit as well. But at the time, I just kind of got on living with just my salary and like not really needing, not accessing credit after that. But that's somebody on the inside doing some fucked up shit to ruin people on purpose, to try to steal, to ruin people financially, to try to steal their house. And that was in 2020 that happened. And they lied they lied in the investigation. They're still lying now. But the stuff like that needs to just be cleared off my record, because I there's no way I'm entering into a financial arrangement again where that's happened. And it doesn't matter what they say or do. That was financial crime. So that's by design. And I cottoned onto it, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? So it's obvious that that financial arrangement was corrupt and fraud, because it doesn't align with me and my spirit, and I wasn't meant it wasn't a good match anyway. And it was COVID exposed the crime even worse. I can't be attached to any sort of crime. People need to understand this. We can't. We just physically can't. We need financial arrangements that are pure and honest. We can't engage in, and I don't trust this system. I don't know where to live, so I can actually start interacting with a wider community. I'm not allowed to build my own business in any kind of form. I'm not even allowed to be my own investor. I've got a lot of equity in my house. I'm not even allowed to be my own investor. I've been blocked from that. And there's no reason why I can't be my own investor. It's been blocked on purpose by these degenerates who don't see me as anything viable or anything worthy or anything worthwhile or any sort of viable, decent contributor to a society. So this is trauma. This is trauma. This is not my trauma. This is their trauma. And this is what I'm being forced to live with. That's not mine. But this situation is untenable. I don't want to live in this anymore. I want to go and do the things I used to do, happy, healthy. They don't want to be blocked from the potential of, marriage and having children anymore, because they've blocked my life in that vein. It's been like, since the all the demonic stuff with my ex-partner that it took ages to get rid of, which what he did was nothing compared to the rest of it. It's been since 2015. It's been 10 years. It's criminal to stop people from having children, having healthy relationships, having marriages. It's criminal. This is trauma. This is terrorism. And it needs to stop. There's no reason. People like me are the people that should be mums. We are the people that we would raise healthy children. We would raise people that are, valuable members of society. So why am I being blocked as if I'm the delinquent? And it's the people who shouldn't really be parents, shouldn't be managing anything, shouldn't be managing any processes. What are they doing? They are not responsible. They are not accountable. They terrorize. They cause havoc. They bring people's lives down. They pull the rugs from underneath people. This is not fucking normal. And also, all the people in these secret societies involved in spell work, all this satanic ritual stuff, terrorism. It's all terrorism. This is spiritual terrorism. Spiritual attack, spiritual warfare, psychological warfare, physical terrorism at my house. Putting people through all of these processes to distract them from what they should actually just for me just doing normal shit. Expecting me to sink down to their playground. I don't play at that level. I've never done that. I've never had any problems until people saw the shiny thing that they wanted to take from me. And they've stopped me from just going on my normal growth trajectory. If they don't want to grow, that's not my problem. That is their problem. But we grow in all the depression, in all the pain, in all the anxiety, in all the fear that our soul still evolves. And it evolves to develop these with our intuition, and to develop and learn to work with our bodies. And when we sense something is dangerous, we listen. we listen anymore. We don't allow danger to just come in our door and take everything, come through the front door and take everything from us. We've learned the hard way. We've learned worse lessons that nobody really should have to learn or endure or anything like that. And people expect us not to learn from what we've already experienced and just keep allowing them to do the same violations over and over and over again. I mean, like it's a bit, it's a really obvious thing for Palestinian people. They're not afraid of the gun anymore. They see it every day. They see the tanks every day. They see the gun. They stand in front of them and they get shot and they die because they're just living. They're living. They stand up. They stand up for what they believe in. They resist. And if they die, they know they're a soul and they go back to God. That's it. The only people that are obsessed with terrorists and all of that and jihadis and all of that crap are the jihadis. People who know the faith, we don't care. We want those idiots out of our life. And that's the truth. Putting people like me, like, nobody really knows that I'm Muslim. I've even got a poem, I wrote it ages ago, it's called From Gaza, and it describes that people can't really tell what my ethnicity is and anything like that. The only way is through these Mossad and CIA and all these intelligence services that have had me profiled on all systems, flagged to make me look like a terrorist so I can't engage in normal things in society. But I'm not like an outwardly Muslim person or anything like that. So why do they care? Like, why do they give that much of a shit to terrorize me like this? Most people wouldn't look to me and look at me and be like, oh yeah, she's a Muslim. She's a jihadi. She's a Islamist extremist. Nobody in my life would ever say that about me. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. So what is wrong with the people in these administrative positions that implement these ridiculous things to block my life? What are they doing? What the fuck is it? It's trauma. They're just really, really sick people. There's no cure for that. Where I can't even deal, like, that's so beneath me. I can't deal with it. I want someone else to I need a team of people to deal with that for me. I can't even touch that. Like, that is so bleh. Like, it's just so disgusting because I can't, the disgust in my body is so overwhelming that it makes me not functional. So I can't actually be near even the sewage that I smell just from the hacking, just from the infiltration in my tech, the sewage that I smell of the shitrailis who have been infiltrating my life through tech, and all the illegal surveillance and the gang stalking and all of that. That's too much. And they're not physically here. So imagine being physically next to them. I can't, like, it would just, I can't. People need to be dealing with that on my behalf. I can't go anywhere near that. That is too disgusting for me. Like, so I'm so sorry, but it's true. This is why people like the Pope, they're in isolation, because they want to maintain their spiritual hygiene, their energetic hygiene. This is the case for monks. They spend most of the time alone in isolation in caves or whatever for spiritual and energetic hygiene. Same for me. I need to maintain energetic hygiene to be able to channel my poetry. Get out of my fucking life. This is terrorism. This is terrorism. Nobody cares about Shitrail anymore. It's too toxic. It's too demonic. It's satanic. It does not belong here. Elon's got rockets that can take them to Mars. Get them gone to Mars. They can put all the flags in Mars and build all the settlements there and do all... There'll be the Aryan race there. They can have complete supremacy. There's nobody there. No anti-Semites. No jihadi extremists. They can go. But they don't belong on Earth. They are an anomaly. They are an anomaly. And they need to be treated as such. They need to be treated as rare. Like, it's rare to be that fascist delinquent. It shouldn't be celebrated or anything. It should be treated like it's rare. Like murderers are rare comparative to the population. They are in that category. They need to be singled out and sectioned off to maintain the integrity of the rest of society. Why is that? Why is those parameters being projected onto people like me, who are entrepreneurs, want to contribute to the development in my community, you know, in the industry in which I want to develop a business, you know, nationally, internationally? Like, why is that their bullshit being projected onto me when it's got nothing to do with me? I just want to find the people that align with me. That's it. And that's terrorism as well, because it blocks you from being seen by the people who you would align with. Confirmation. It blocks you from being seen. It puts a cloud over you. Nobody even, like, I never get any never get any emails, never get any DMs, nothing. My WhatsApp's shut off because I don't want the terrorism that was coming through that. Like, there's literally no communication in my life with real people. So it's just weird how there's so many fake reports and stuff about me. Nobody even speaks to me. None of them have even spoken to me. Not one of them. Not one of them has actually had a conversation with me personally. But all of their fake reports are believed. None of the investigators speak with me. They just implement the processes that cause havoc. And this level of trauma, consecutive trauma, you know, cumulative trauma, there will be damages that will be paid. There will be damages. There will be restitution. There will be reparations because of what they've done. And that's what people need to understand, because that's the laws of the universe and that's balance. They should just leave me alone to do my shit. Get out of my life. These vermin trash, these sewage, people that stink like sewage. Why? What business have they got being anywhere near me? We just don't belong. There's such an energetic mismatch. That's what the tension is. That's what the trauma is. There's just don't belong. It's an invasive species, and any sort of conservationist would be removing invasive species so they don't destroy the natural habitats. Get out of my ecosystem. You do not belong. You are a terrorist, and that's it. Get the fuck out of here. Like I said before, people who are just genuinely following their own faith, we don't think about fucking jihadis or none of that shit. It's not something in our awareness. We just move through our days and have the normal daily struggles that you would have in daily life. We don't have all of this additional struggles. Why are you doing that? What's the point? Because it's making me isolated and dark and stuff. Because, like, literally, they made me literally have to live in darkness and never open my curtains because of all the drones. Never see the sun. But do you know what happens when you make people never see the sun? They become the fucking sun themselves. Every single Gazan is the light of the sun. And that's what they can't bear, because they will never be that. They will never be that. So what's the point? What's the point? Why are we not accepted in society like everybody else? We want to have jobs, we want to have families, we want to have careers, we want to have life experiences like everybody else. So what's the problem? What's the problem? Their problems, not our responsibility. Not attaching. It's not attaching to us anymore. We don't wear it. We don't own it. It's not anything to do with us. These foreign bodies, foreign entities that belong in another environment. Why do we have to make peace with that? You just do what conservationists do with an invasive species. Dig them up, transplant them to where they're not invasive anymore. That's what you have to do with Chitralis. Everywhere they manifest, because they don't stop. They don't stop. That is the rant, as well, as far as I want to rant about this. And I don't know if it's going to help anybody, but I have to do it so I don't fester in the inside. But yeah, people have to understand. You can't treat people who've been in trauma or traumatized by people. We see all the red flags. If you present in any kind of way that looks like anything that has caused damage and destruction to us, we will just stay away. We'll just stay away. Like, there's nothing, like, you have to come to us genuinely, authentically wanting to engage. That's it. Engage and converse, and like, no pretenses and nothing like that. No agendas. We can sense agendas very, very easily. So it just has to be genuine. Genuinely getting to know someone like you would every day, like normally, which doesn't seem that normal these days. But yeah, just things like I don't open the door because of being terrorized, literally being terrorized at my house. Like, I don't open the door. Like, if I'm here and I don't open the door, because like if a package comes, I just let them put it in the secure place. Like, I don't even open the door, even if I know even if I'm accepting a package, because I just don't want to expose myself to energy that's going to put me out of alignment. Like, that's it. That might sound like offensive or whatever, but it's the truth, and people need to respect boundaries like that. Yeah, I literally need security. I literally need security, and I'm not even joking, because there are hit people. Like, I've got the evidence now that there is people trying to kill me. So I don't know if there's a hitman that's going to be at my door pretending to be a parcel person, do I? So that's just facts. Yeah, on that note, it's the end of the video. Thanks if you made it this far. And yeah, hopefully it's made someone else that's gone through the same crazy stuff as me or similar feel less alone. And if it's done that for one person, then I'm happy about that, because it's very, very, it's a solo place to be, like, at the end of the day. Most people don't understand. Yeah. See you in the next video. Bye.